So welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. It is first thing in the morning, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not feeling it today. It is hot, but I'm gonna try to push through. I just ran out here to the food plot. It's coming in. It's coming in nice now. We had that rain the other night, but the deer are already eating on it. I wish I'd kind of wait a little bit, but we're gonna put a battery in this trail cam and see what's been going on out here. All right, camera is all ready to go. And we're gonna start things off a little differently today. I have some footage to show you from yesterday. Melissa's mom and dad had to take down a massive oak tree, and they had Wild Miller Tree Service come over to do it. So Levi took a camera over to see how it was going. They got it all done yesterday, went really well, but this thing was massive, and it had some real bad splits in it. The tree was still alive, but it wasn't going to be around much longer. And to prevent part of it from falling on the house and the other side from falling right on the septic tank, they decided it was time to get it down. And it was huge. Wait till you see this.
I don't know if from here you can tell how big this is, but all of the branches that come out, a lot of these branches are like the size of that oak tree they took down to my dad's. And just how heavy that is incredible to think about. All these branches that go so far out. It's a huge canopy. So they got a guy up in the tree cutting, another guy that gets pulled up to connect the limbs here. Got the crane man operating this. Quite the operation. Really smooth. Branches. Big. So far out. They got an event here. Size of just this one branch. And this is a small one. Wow. That's a tree in itself.
Yeah.
All right, it is definitely not the best day to be doing this, but we're gonna saw some lumber.
Waiting at the door. My ride sweeter to meet the one I love. I don't know how and don't know why, but I've been toasting all my life.
All right, we're gonna saw some more of this red pine. I sawed this the other day, but in this heat, you gotta get this stuff on stickers pretty fast because it's drying real quick. So we're gonna saw 4 more logs here. Levi's coming down in just a few. We'll load them in the Ford here, and then tomorrow morning, I think I'm gonna make an early morning run to the cabin. Roll out of here about 5 or something. Get down there around 7:30. We'll stack and sticker this. Got a few other things to do down there. And then we'll head for home before it gets too hot. A good example of how fast this pine dries, a couple months ago, it couldn't have been more than 2 months, I stacked and stickered about 1,500 board feet of this red pine, put it in the building, not even out here in the heat. And when I did that, I put ratchet straps, 3 of them on each lift, tighten them way down, and I was walking by them yesterday and they are all loose. I had to snug them all back down, but I mean a lot, probably 4 clicks on the ratchet straps to get them tight again. And like I said, that was inside the building, not out here in this heat. So I'll be glad to get this stuff down to the cabin, stacked and stickered, and it'll be ready to go when we're ready to put it up. Before we get started, I need to fill this up. I put diesel fuel in here, and after each one of those red pine logs, you can see the blade gets a little buildup on it. After each log, I leave the blade running, give it a few squirts, cleans it right up. That seems to be the best thing for it. All right, we got, what'd I say, 42 more?
Yep.
42 more 1x6s. We put some stickers on here. Got everything secured, nice and tight, not going anywhere. I'll run these down first thing tomorrow morning. But you're gonna see this video on Saturday morning, 8 a.m. And Levi is gonna publish a video on his channel at 7. So I'll put a link in the description. But we get asked all the time about tree species.
Yeah.
And Levi's the guy. So what'd you do? You're doing like a two-part or something?
Yeah, definitely 2-part, maybe 3, we'll see. But just on the different species I identify from my house to here. And that's not even including, you know, the whole property, but that's where we'll start.
Way more than what I thought.
Yeah, I didn't really get out of the yard. But
yeah, I look at oak, maple, cherry, hickory, walnut, but there's tons of other ones out there that yeah. So check out Levi's channel, Tied Up with the Morgans. I'll put a link in the description. We get asked all the time. People ask about how we identify. You're way better at it than I am, but you know, how do we identify the trees that are around here?
And I'd like to dive into that more. Really not going to cover too much on how to identify it, just because there's so many. Right now, I guess we're going to kind of address what we have, and then maybe I'll dive into that more on how you do it.
Okay. Was there any surprises? For you?
I don't think. I guess just I knew a lot of those species, but I guess how many there were just right there.
Yeah.
Was surprising. Yeah.
Right.
And I think too, I'm sure people have questions because, like you said, they kind of see those ones you listed, right? Whether it's sawmill or firewood, you know, that's really the only time we're dealing with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff we're not sawing, or you know, like the one in particular, like black locust. Like there's a few of those, right? But not tons of them.
Yeah.
You know? It'd be nice.
Were they very big at all?
No, there's one decent sized one, but still it's maybe the size of these red pine we just sawed, so it's not very big.
I remember I got that one load one time, and there was like 2 or 3 locusts in there that were huge. I've never seen a big one around here.
I don't know why that is. Yeah, I've seen a lot around, but they're never big. They die off.
Yeah. So tell them about the first part of this video. I showed them the footage from Ed and Ann's. What kind of tree was that?
Yeah, that's a shingle oak, which, you know what I always found strange, whenever I moved where my wife Kate and I live, we have shingle oaks everywhere. I've never seen any around here. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, like I never see them on this
Is
side
that part of the red oak family?
Shingle oak, I want to say it's part of the white oak family, but
yeah, I think you're right.
I think it is part of the white oak family, but yeah, they call it a shingle oak because the early settlers would use the wood as shingles.
Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't really look like, a lot of the oaks have a similar leaf shape. They're totally different. You know?
Yeah, that was a big one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a beautiful tree. And just how, I made a video before, it was just a vertical one on my phone, you know, but a couple weeks ago we were over there and those limbs go so far out, and just I was talking to my pap about it, how amazing it is, the weight of those branches and how far they go from the tree, you know.
Yeah.
And just straight out, you know, it's incredible.
Yeah,
all that weight.
The strength required to hold them up all these years. I don't think it had much more life left in it. It's coming down soon.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, they had Jordan, you know, even look at it, and I think Jordan said something like there was a lot of like fungi on it, mushrooms and stuff, and he said that's a bad sign that, you know, something's rotting in there. That's what I heard from my pap. I talked to him, but
yeah. All right. Well, yeah, check out Levi's channel, Tied Up with Morgans, if you want to know about the trees we have around here, and I'll report back later on. All right, it is 4:53 a.m. and I just got on the road and I'm headed to the cabin. It is already 72 degrees and really humid. It's going to be another hot one today, but it looks like we're going to have about 2 more days of this, and then it's going to cool back down a little bit, so that'll be good. But anyway, I'll report back in a couple hours from the cabin. I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's a hotel right here. I just stopped at Sheets, and there's probably at least 25 power company trucks there and a bunch of pickups in the parking lot. I'm not sure where they're from. We had some really bad storms the other night, and we got lucky at our place. Our power stayed on, but yeah, these guys are from somewhere out of town, but there were power outages everywhere for like 2, 3, 4 days. All right, so I just made it to the cabin, and I'm telling you what, this is the place to be. When I left home, I think I said it was, what, 72 degrees, and it was super muggy, hot and humid, and I drove 2.5 hours south to the cabin, and it is 63 degrees, and hardly any humidity at all. Way, way nicer down here than it is at home. But I'm gonna get this lumber stacked and stickered. I got a few other things to do, clean up. The insulation guys are coming first of next week. And then we're gonna take a ride over to Oakland, Maryland. Yeah, just south of Oakland. There's an equipment dealer over there, and I wanna look at something over there while we're in the area. And then we'll probably be home by 1 o'clock today, maybe even noon. We'll see how it goes. I brought so check out this piece right here. This was a log not even 24 hours ago, and we stacked it in the truck right off the mill, put a couple pieces of wood across, and then stacked the stickers on top of that. But look at the change in color in less than 24 hours. So I got another couple layers to go. And then I brought a couple ratchet straps with me. I think we'll strap this pile down. When I came down, I had a few on the top layer that were wanting to peel up a little bit. So yeah, a couple more layers. We'll ratchet strap it all tight. And it'll be good. This stuff's drying so fast this time of year. I got somebody watching me. All right, got it all stacked up and strapped down. Right there is 147 10-footers. So that works out to about 735 square feet. I'll need probably a whole nother stack like this one. I've got two back in the building right now, they were sawing at 1 inches thick. This all was 7/8. I could use it if I had to, but I will probably just saw some more of that stuff and bring it down on every trip like I have been doing. This should work out really good though. What I was thinking, when I go to put this up, I'll use just a orbital sander, take the straps off, sand 1 layer. I'll set up a miter saw maybe right over there, cut the length right in the back door, come back out, remove the stickers, sand the whole next level, and repeat. It should work out pretty good. So it's a pretty good morning so far. It's only 9:15 a.m. I left the house around 5. Got all my lumber down here stacked up. Didn't even break a sweat because, like I said, it is much cooler here. Very, very nice day today. Now, when I get home, I may do a little brush hogging. I still have to finish the trails from our place down to the brick house and Maple Grove, because the LX4020 will be leaving pretty soon with the brush hog, and I need to replace that as well. That's going to be a couple weeks on that, but you're going to see this video on Saturday morning, 8 a.m. That is if I get it edited tonight, which I'm sure I will. And then on Sunday, you're going to see the new piece of equipment. The new mower the other day, the Cub Cadet, that was a bit of a teaser. But the next one, I told you there were 2 yellow machines coming. The next one is actually yellow and black, and I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. I'm convinced, just after running it a little bit the last couple days, that we will use it more than anything else we have. And I was shocked. When I said I was going to get a yellow piece of equipment, that wasn't much of a clue at all. You know what I mean? And there was one guy that got it exactly right. I couldn't believe it. I think he even got the model number. So you'll see that tomorrow morning on Sunday. But yeah, I'm really excited to show you. I've been using it for a couple days, just trying to get used to it and know a little bit more about it so I, could explain it better. But right now, I need to head over to an equipment dealer in Oakland, Maryland. What I'm looking for is a log grapple for the back of a tractor. When I ran that Avant that I had on rent, I really liked that timber grab. I did. And I'm thinking when I replace the LX4020, because it's going back to Kubota, whatever tractor I get one of those log grabs. The grapple on the front of a tractor or a skid loader or whatever, it works fantastic, but there are times when you are skidding brush piles or whole trees or logs, whatever, you can't carry things this way. You got to come out straight. Obviously, in a place like this, you are not carrying anything this way unless it's less than like 4 feet wide. There are places out here where I can't even get, like the main trail going out is kind of wide, but there are places down here where you can't even fit. Like when I had that BX, I couldn't even fit it between the trees. A lot of them are like 4 feet apart. These are the red pines. I go over this all the time. But if you're new to the channel, this is our cabin, shower house in West Virginia. But we have a lot of red pine here. There's some white pine here around the cabin. These are big ones. And then the whole back half of the property and down to the other road is all white pine. Plus there's a bunch of white pine down there as well. I couldn't imagine how much lumber is here. You know what I mean? Like the white pine's big. It's big stuff. There's a lot of 24, 30-inch trees here. And man, that stuff would make the lumber. If I ever need white pine, I know where to get it. And it would actually help this place if I would cut some, because they're real close together and it would open things up a little bit. And the white pine regenerates very well on its own. Down under the power line, it's right next to the road at the far end of our property. they cut that just a couple years ago, and there are white pine trees that are 6 and 7 feet tall already. They're everywhere. And, you know, if you're to open this up a bit, they would just come right back like crazy. They would. They grow fast and tall. But I like white pine. I like red pine as well. The red pine that we have here, though, it's not going to last. It needs thinned as well. These don't regenerate like the white pine do. These were all planted, and for some reason the red pine just doesn't regenerate. I don't know why, but it just doesn't. This whole property was a farm field, probably in the 40s, I'm guessing, maybe even up until the early 50s. There's a local guy around here, Charlie, that I've talked to. He's an older gentleman, super nice guy, and he is a serious archery hunter. He's already scouting right now this time of year, but he told me he remembers hunting here when the pines were waist height. Yeah, they were waist high when he used to hunt here, probably in the 50s or 60s. But right over on the other side of the cabin here, underneath those ferns over there, I don't know if you can see that, there's a big rock pile right there. I figure, I'm pretty sure about this, that was all the rock from in the fields. There's an old fence line right here. So this was all fields at one time. And then from here, that corner of the property back there is all hardwoods. Nothing real big, but there's some nice cherry and maple and some white oak. I don't even know if I've seen any red oak here. And then in the back corner of the property, there's a little bit more hardwoods, but it's mostly all red pine and the white pine. But yeah, it's crazy to think this is just a field, you know, 60, 70 years ago. Every time I come down here, I make sure I take a few minutes on the porch swing. This is living here. It is so quiet down here. Even when I'm talking to the camera like this, I can hear myself kind of echoing out in the woods. It's just super peaceful. Really, really nice. All right, we're about to pull into Schrock Equipment. It's just below Oakland, Maryland.
Your destination is on the left.
But I wanted to show you this place over here. Look how nice that is. All right, so they're going to get me a price on a grapple, log grapple for the back of the tractor. Check out that limb saw right there. These guys are a Branson, I guess Branson TYM dealer, but they got tons of different attachments down here, down below. Yeah, that place there, that's beautiful. All right, I'm about halfway home. I'm gonna make the customary stop at Bass Pro. Nice to get out, walk around a little bit. Just kind of window shopping. I don't have plans on buying anything.